Today I'm going to tell you about the most baller Kyler Murray story ever, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. So today I'm going to tell you about the most baller Kyler Murray story I've ever heard. But first, we got to talk about Magic City Tom. Magic City Tom being Tom Herman at Texas, because the things that have happened in this Ohio State scandal that have come to light, not just that Zach Smith was allegedly beating up Courtney Smith, but just all the little things that come about it, like Urban Meyer lying about what he knew, the paid to unpaid administrative lead, Gene Smith. But lately, the second big news item to come out of this related to Tom Herman, the first being that Tom Herman might have dropped a dime on Urban Meyer to just get this whole thing started. And then that the university, Ohio State University, has corroborated this rumor that Tom Herman was with Zach Smith at some strip clubs in Miami, dropping about $600 of his own cash. Magic City Tom showing up with them singles, bruh. I mean, we've heard stories about Tom Herman in Vegas. Now we're hearing stories about Tom Herman in Miami. What we know about Tom Herman is he's gonna get after it, okay? He is going to spend his own money putting some girls through college in Miami. This is salacious. This has really nothing to do with the very, very real and shocking domestic violence that is going on related to Zach Smith and Courtney Smith. And on Wednesday on Twitter, Zach Smith showed pictures of his children to try to put to bed all of these rumors about him being a scumbag. Well, look, man, you don't get to call people scum or put your kids out in front like that. That's just not cool. Like, take this, all right? Just be silent. Go away. There is nothing that you could do right now that could help your case or your cause in the court of public opinion, which is where I am, which is where we all are, watching this play out on social media and in every news story that Brett McMurphy breaks. I don't understand why he just wouldn't keep his head down. And to that end, I'm still trying to figure out how Texas gets out of this unscathed, because I have to believe the NCAA is going to do their own investigation after Ohio State's investigation basically proved that Ohio State didn't do anything wrong. I mean, shocker there. I don't understand how the NCAA doesn't come knocking on Tom Herman's door and somehow get Texas involved in this. If I'm a Texas fan or Texas alumni, I don't like Tom Herman being anywhere near this story at all, least of all the Magic City Tom thread. But for me, from now on, Tom Herman is forever Magic City Tom. A smile that I probably shouldn't have across my face, because Courtney Smith is the victim in all of this, and all the threads that are coming out around this very bad and very damning story just highlight how absurd and weird and sometimes just plain awful my favorite sport, college football, is. And I would really like to go away, but while we're here, Magic City Tom. And adding further insult to injury for Magic City Tom is he doesn't have a Heisman favorite at Texas. I don't even remember the last time Texas had a Heisman favorite at running back, at tailback, wherever. I mean, it might be all the way back to Colt McCoy, honestly. Like, I mean, Gerard Hurd, no. Tyrone Swoops, no. Deontay Foreman, no. I mean, you please, in the comments, let me know, who was the last Texas great to be a Heisman favorite? But be that as it may, I made a list of folks that other folks think are going to win the Heisman, and I just kind of went down. Well, you know what? Fine. We'll just get it started on the list. Bryce Love at Stanford, rushed for over 2,100 yards. Jonathan Taylor at Wisconsin, rushed for 1,977. Neither one of those guys had 20 touchdowns, and you got to score points to get a look. Just ask Wendell Brown at West Canaan High. The next guy a lot of people have on the list is Ed Oliver, who's an All-American in a trash conference. He also had fewer tackles for loss and half a sack less than he did in 2016 last year. And this ain't Sons of Anarchy, so half sacked ain't gonna make it. And since his name is not Charles Woodson, neither is Ed Oliver. I mean, Khalil Tate could win it if voting for the Heisman was like drafting a college football fantasy team, but he's gonna have to have a Lamar Jackson kind of season to even get into the running. And let's not forget, since Johnny Manziel, Kevin Sumlin has run into the ground or run out of town every good quarterback he's had. Now, Justin Herbert, quarterback at Oregon, was pretty good last year. Sneaky good. He completed 67.5% of his passes and threw for 15 touchdowns, but he only played in 8 games. And we all know you got to play the whole season if you want to win the Heisman, or they will rob you. Just ask Adrian Peterson. Washington quarterback Jake Browning isn't even the best known Browning in America, but he's almost as accurate. Still, good luck winning the Heisman Trophy if you don't throw for 3,000 yards, and Browning's only done that twice in 3 seasons. UCF quarterback McKenzie, I can't even say it with a straight face. McKenzie Milton's not going to win the Heisman. I mean, Trace McSorley at Penn State could win it. That's it. A take as boring as Penn State is. Boston College running back A.J. Dillon could win it, you know, if Rodney Anderson up and died or something. Look, Rodney Anderson did what A.J. Dillon did basically in the last 8 games of the season last year. Yes, A.J. Dillon rushed for more yards, but Rodney Anderson averaged more yards per carry and had more TDs than A.J. Dillon did last year. But one of the cool stories that has come out of the Rodney Anderson Heisman voting campaign, or not campaign, is Rodney Anderson could care less. I mean, he could give a damn. Like, he didn't even know that he was on a list until his mom told him he was on the list. And this is a guy whose pedigree is athletic. His father played basketball, his mother played tennis and volleyball, and his uncle won Super Bowls with the Patriots and the Chicago Bears. We're going to learn a lot about Rodney Anderson and what he's made of and just how great a tailback he is in 2018. This is going to be his year. And of course, Bama quarterbacks Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa could win it because the selection committee will rig it so that they win it. See last year's college football playoff. Now, as for the title of this video, the best Kyler Murray story ever, comes from an ESPN article, which I will link in the comments below, which is really good. Gets into the background of not just Kyler Murray, but his family, his dad, Kevin Murray, what he went through at A&M, his uncle, Calvin Murray, the baseball, the football, the Texas Aggies. My goodness, this family is steeped in football lore in Texas, and Kyler Murray, for me, is their vengeance. I mean, after reading about what Calvin Murray and Kevin Murray went through, Kevin Murray basically being blackballed out of the NFL without being drafted, challenging the junior rule, and being a black quarterback in 1987. It's a great story. I recommend it for you. But the best story to come out of that story was one where Kyler Murray's Allen Eagles were in a highly anticipated rematch with South Lake Carroll. And on the first possession of the game, Kyler Murray threw a pass. It bounced out of the hands of his receivers. It was picked off and returned for a touchdown. Back on the sideline, there was chirping. There was lots of talk about how Allen Eagles were trash. The offense was gathered around Kyler Murray, and he's the quarterback. He's the number one. He's the signal caller. He's the leader. He's the guy that you get your tone from. And he was asked what he thought about the game so far. And Kyler Murray looked at his coach, looked at his teammates, and said, they're trash, and if we don't throw for about 400 yards tonight, I'm going to be pissed. Murray threw 466 yards with 3 touchdowns, rushed for 2 more, had 80 yards on the ground, and they stomped South Lake Carroll 49-27. Coaches around Texas said the hype is deserved. Everything you've heard about Kyler Murray is true. The kid can absolutely play quarterback, and he's chippy because he wants to prove to everybody he is a great quarterback, a great college quarterback. He understands that his future is in baseball, but he is at Oklahoma expressly to win championships, and he said as much. Now, does he have the same kind of swagger as Baker Mayfield? No. But does he have that same intrinsic nature of knowing that he is good, that he can absolutely play, that you don't deserve to be on the same field as him? Also absolutely true. And one of the most confident, if arrogant things that has been said about Kyler Murray is that nobody who has seen Kyler Murray play from high school all the way up expects there to be a drop-off between Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. And remember, Baker Mayfield did not just win the Heisman Trophy last year. He quarterbacked an offense that put up 579 yards per game and averaged 8.3 yards per play. That is absolute bona fide production. And when you're telling me that you've watched Baker Mayfield play for a whole season and you're waiting to see a play that Kyler Murray can't make, that speaks to the kind of athleticism, the kind of talent, but also the kind of confidence that Kyler Murray must have, because there were some throws that Baker made that if you ain't clanking down below, you don't make. Flat out, full stop. And I can't wait to get my first dose of that at Oklahoma on Saturday against Florida Atlantic. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.